What's up, adventure travellers? We are outside the Grand Bazaar, which is a big marketplace in Istanbul. Probably just sell you all the usual junk, you know, like t-shirts and caps and handbags and watches, but worth a look. Let's go inside. Well, it's quite a nice interior in here. I dare say there's loads of laneways like this with all different types of shops. Let's go have a look. I don't know where the guys are, I've lost them already. Pretty busy, and it's not even high tourist season yet. A lot of jewellery stores, like dozens of them. How's that for a lot of gold? The masses are out to shop. It's just getting busier and busier around here. Can't move. Now we're in a bit more of a cavernous part of the markets. It's got some low ceilings. Look at this, wow. Very cool. Getting slightly uphill. There's the spice shops. Pretty cool, you can get just about anything you want. I'd like to shout out to my super fans, Nova and Lola. Thank you for tuning in and following the journey with me. And here's a cameo from Nova's dad. But wait, there's more. There's the outdoor section of the bazaar as well. Just more shops than you would ever know what to do with. So, shops upon shops upon shops. That's probably enough of shops for now. I will see you later. We're just around the corner from the Grand Bazaar and yet another amazing mosque. I thought it was the same mosque from last night, but no, it's a different one. This one is a white mosque and it's pretty cool. And just across from it says Istanbul University up the top. So maybe that's the entrance to Istanbul University. It's a pretty grand structure, whatever it is. And there's the flag flying high. Just found a very, very special shop. One of a kind shop in the world. I'm not exactly sure what they sell, but it's Ray Comfort. Okay, they're selling shoes. You saw it here first? Ray Comfort. Alrighty, adventure travellers, next on the list is the Basilica, which is an underground water storage place. This is just the first glimpse. We're going down the stairs there. So the Basilica is around 1500 years old, and which means it was built not long after the Roman Empire moved its capital from Rome to Constantinople, which is now Istanbul. And apparently there's around 338, well not around, there is 338 columns underground. Pretty spectacular. Check it out. Wow. Pretty amazing. It gets quite dark as you walk through it. They've obviously made it dark to give it more of an ambiance. Don't know what the jellyfish are all about. Oh, they've just turned the lights on. What are we learning, boys? So that's about it really. It's just one wide open space where they used to store water years ago for the city. It's pretty cool though, being underground with all these columns, and just goes to show how amazing the engineering, the plumbing engineering or the hydro engineering was 1500 years ago. Okay, we're in the mall and I've just been getting myself a new airbed for the camping, and you might not think that malls are a very cultural place, but we're on the ground floor and there's a row of food stalls, which for you foodies out there, I thought I'd film it. Very interesting. So we've got the usual spices and bits and pieces and some lovely looking sweets there. And here we have some cheeses. Look at those. all sorts of different cheeses. I'm not even sure what this stuff is. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Maybe some kind of sweets. And then we've got currants there. And nuts. Oh, here we go. Walnuts, almonds, cashews on the back. Here we have some sketchy tourists getting all the freebies.
Traditional honey.
Oh, traditional honey.
Local honey.
Wow.
It's very cool.
Looks delicious. And the colourful spices. Wow. Look at that.
Slightly below.
So there you go. That's our little trip to the mall. They've got all the usual shops and that sort of thing. But that was something different. Oh, and lucky last, just the breads. Look at those loaves of bread. Huge. Nom 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 nom. All right, adventure travellers, after a pretty placid trip to the mall this morning, we came back to the hotel and it's just before 1 o'clock and there's been quite a big earthquake. Shane, who's lost for words, he can't even talk, he's so scared. No, just kidding. We both stuck our heads into the hallway and said it's time to get out of this building. The building was shaking a lot. And for those of you who don't know, there was an earthquake in Turkey, not in Istanbul, but in the middle of the country. How long ago was it, Shane?
Did it happen?
No, the big earthquake. 5 years ago? Anyway.
2023, February 2023.
Okay, only 2 years ago. And 50,000 people died. So, and we were in that town just a week or so ago. There's where we were on the 10th floor, and it was shaking like hell. So quite happy to be outside and on the ground. But yeah, it's just a bit of a worry about aftershocks. Stay tuned. We haven't been back up to the 10th floor to our rooms yet. We're just down in the restaurant. Calming our nerves, and Shane has just looked up again on the net and it's been revised to a 6.2 magnitude and something like 73 kilometers away from Istanbul. Stay tuned. Good morning, adventure travellers. It is the last day of the Turkey, well, not the Turkey, but the ride with the lads. Andrew went yesterday and Shane's just seeing me off at the bike. Here we are down here. Just want to say a huge thank you to Shane and to you, Andy. Hopefully you're watching, and it's been an amazing 2 weeks. Time to hit the road and get to Bulgaria. Stay tuned. Any words, Shane?
Amazing trip. Memories for a lifetime, Ray. Thank you.
Awesome.
Seen so much. Andrew had some jokes. You ran out of gas. Someone lost their passport. It was amazing. We'll be back. See you guys.
All right. Talk to you soon. Goodbye, Istanbul. All right, we're still in the thick of it, and as you can see, I'm in the middle of town somewhere, but it's only 3.5 hours on the B roads to the border, where I'll be staying for a couple of nights, catching up on a bit of admin before heading to Bulgaria. I will come back to you from the countryside once I've cleared the big smoke, and I'll see you on the road. And the city just keeps on going. Look at that. A couple of big old buildings up ahead, and crikey, when am I going to get out of this place? There's the motorway going up the other side of the hill, or the valley. I'm not sure how big Istanbul is, but it's got to be around 10 million, 12 million, I don't know. Turkey's 85 or 88 million, so it's plenty of people in this country. And we finally made it to the Turkish countryside. Look at that green. Wow. Okay, we're about an hour away from Erdin, which I think I don't know, it might be 15 minutes, half an hour away from the border. I've got about a week and a half before I meet my mate Grant. Shout out Mr. Brabin. And his lovely girlfriend Simona in Bucharest. Bring on the green countryside of Turkey. Talk to you soon. And here we are in Erdin. Here's the local mosque. And looks like a nice quaint little town so far. Nice and tidy. Pretty chilled. The drivers aren't too crazy yet. And about 5 minutes away, there's some Turkish flags up there. Nice tree-lined streets. Very nice. And here we are back to the back streets. Shane Young would never have booked us something like this. Oh, maybe he would have. He pulls one out of the bag every now and again. Here we go, the Stay Inn Hotel. Oh, look at that. Looks like they've got a parking space. Ah, perfect. Looks great. Down there. Beautiful. Excellent. How are you? Beautiful. Okay. Alrighty, second to last night in Turkey. Still haven't figured out how to say the name of this town. Tiny little room, but it'll do for a couple of nights. The lads are heading back to New Zealand. Here it is, the room all unpacked. Little bathroom in there. Tomorrow's an admin day. I will get out and about a little bit, and we'll see some sights from this quaint little town. So good night for now, and see you tomorrow. What's up, adventure travellers? Last day in Turkey. Here we are in Erdin. There is a massive, very impressive mosque up and behind me on the top of the hill. There seems to be mosques everywhere in this town. There's a massive one directly across the road as well. There it is, side view. So if you're looking for somewhere to pray, you're never far away from a good spot. It's a beautifully kept little town, and there's lots of historical buildings as well. I've just read that it was on the Silk Route, Marco Polo's Silk Route to China, and it's obviously maintained its position. Lots of trade goes on here. You can tell there's a bit of money around keeping it afloat and keeping it beautiful. Looks like there's some ruins here in front of the mosque up ahead, which is very modern. The other mosques around look a little bit more historical, but these ruins, I dare say they are the foundation of an older mosque which may have been destroyed in a war or an earthquake, and they've maintained the ruins and built the bigger new mosque up behind it. That's just my guess, don't quote me. Alrighty, we're around the other side of the mosque. I think this is the formal entrance in behind me, although I can't see anyone coming and going. But anyway, if you're enjoying this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel, please share it with family and friends, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's always good to get your feedback and have a chat with those of you out there. Cheers. Just been going for a walk around the outside of this mosque, and as you can see in behind me, there's a whole lot of slabs. So there we go. I think it might be brand new, or they're doing some very extensive renovation work. Either way, I think it's the centerpiece of the town, and there's a lot of visitors and other people milling around. It was the National Day a couple of days ago, and you see a lot of these signs and flags with the Turkish flag and Ataturk, the founder of modern Turkey. And that is probably the perfect segue into Ray's 3-minute geography lesson. As long as we don't get rained out. Look at those clouds. And there's holy cow, did you hear that thunder? And there's been the odd bit of lightning as well. Anyway, let's try and get the geography lesson underway. The precursor to the modern Turkish Republic was known as the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans gained prominence in the 15th century when they supplanted the Romans in Constantinople, which is what we now know as Istanbul. At its peak, the Ottoman Empire reached into Eastern Europe, Northern Africa, and Northern and Western Arabia. However, by the time World War I rolled around, the Ottomans were a spent force. The Ottomans were defeated in World War I and the empire was disbanded. The Turkish Republic was subsequently formed in 1923. If Turkey was a fully European country, as opposed to part European and part Asian, it would be the largest country on the continent by both land size and population. Turkey has a large variety of neighbours, which include Greece, Bulgaria, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iran, Iraq and Syria. Combined with controlling naval access to the Black Sea, this makes relations with so many varied neighbours a real juggling act. You can feel a strong and serious military presence when travelling through the eastern half of the country. About 75% of Turkey's population is Turkish and 20% Kurdish. The remaining 5% is made up of various minorities. Not surprisingly, Turkish and Kurdish are the main languages spoken in the country. 99.8% of the population are Muslim and the rest are Christian. And it's pretty convenient that I am sheltering in this mosque while it starts to rain outside. And as you can see, I'm not alone. Everyone's coming in from the rain. As expected, because of the wealth and the proximity to Europe, Islam seems to be a lot more moderate in Turkey than it is in the Middle East. There does seem to be a lot of mosques around the place, or maybe you just notice them because they are better maintained, and you still hear the call to prayer a lot. Turkey is a middle-income country with a large diversified economy. Industries range from agriculture, tourism and construction to manufacturing and military tech. Inflation and political corruption still blight the country, however, and the current inflation rate as of March 2025 is a staggering 38%. Overall though, the prospects for Turkey look very, very good. After 6 months in the Middle East, it was a remarkable uplift in standards from everything from the roading to the availability of goods in shops and of course personal freedoms. I highly recommend Turkey as a place to visit if you're thinking of coming here, especially if you like road trips in mountains. And that's it from Turkey. One evening to go and on the road tomorrow to Bulgaria. If you'd like to know more about the trip from New Zealand to Ireland, via Turkey of course, please go to twowheelstoeverywhere.com. If you'd like to know more about the IHC, who I'm raising money for, you can go to ihc.org.nz. The IHC look after the intellectually disabled community in New Zealand and they do an awesome job. If you're feeling particularly flush at the moment and you'd like to support the IHC, that can be done through my Give a Little page. The link is on the screen and it's also in the description below. All donations go directly from you to the IHC. And that's all for now folks, that's all for Turkey. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're traveling, travel safe and I'll see you on the road.